Welcome back to Midday Kentucky. Well, the bitter cold is setting in, so it's not just us. It's important we protect our plants and gardens for the winter weather. And we have an expert here to tell us more, is Richard from Springhouse Gardens.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure. It's kind of a nasty day out there.
Kind of.
And
That's putting it mildly.
These poor plants have to deal with this for the next 5 months, so it is kind of tough. But I'm here to help our viewers kind of figure out what to do with their plants right now.
All right, well, let's talk about these leaves outside first.
Okay.
It's a mess out there. What do we do?
Disaster.
The most important thing is you don't want to leave those leaves on your grass.
Okay.
So if you are trying to have a nice lawn, you've got to get those leaves off the grass. Don't do it when it's soaking wet and when they're all frozen and covered in snow. Wait for them to dry out a little bit, but try to get those leaves off as soon as you can. And the leaves are great for mulching for your gardens. But the best thing to do would be to run your lawnmower over them and chop them up and then put them around and use those as natural mulch. If you don't have beds that you want to have chopped up leaves in, you can bag them and leave them for the city to come and recycle them.
So I'm guessing we, like you said, we wait till it's dry to do that lawnmower stuff, right?
It's going to be better. Yeah, you don't want to do it when it's all wet and frozen.
Not that I don't know. Do you do the lawnmower?
Sometimes. I do like to.
But I have to confess, I have maple trees in my front yard and they're just now losing their leaves. So my front yard, don't drive by. It's terrible. It's covered in leaves, so I've got to get out there as soon as it dries out.
It's like the shoemaker's shoes,
That's
right?
exactly right.
Tell me a little bit. Is this a good time to be cutting back our shrubs and our perennials?
The answer is yes and no. It
Okay.
depends on what the things are. And I brought a boxwood. This is one of the most popular plants in central Kentucky. This is a great time to prune boxwoods because we are now pruning these and you can use them for Christmas decorations.
Oh.
So I just wanted to give a quick technique. A lot of people, even in the landscape world, will take shears and shear the plant so it looks like a big green meatball.
Is this,
This
are
is
you
a
holding
natural.
shears?
No, these are pruning shears,
Okay,
but
just to
not
make-
hedge shears. A lot
Okay.
of people will hedge them. I want to show people the best way to do this is to cut down into the plant. It's a little more tedious, but to cut down in so that you don't just create a perfectly green meatball, because
I
what
like
ends
the
up happening,
meatball.
I know a lot of people do, but it's not healthy for the plant. So it's better to cut down into the plant so that you get a more natural growth habit, so that you can't really see where you've cut. And then these can be used for making wreaths or topiaries or used for decorations inside on your mantle. So this is what we're doing now, is saving a lot of the pruning on our evergreens for this time of the year so we can make good use out of the clippings.
Now, are these plants that survive the winter?
Oh, these are perfectly evergreen. These will grow all the way up into Canada. So
Okay,
they're very,
so
very hardy.
it's important to keep them. And when you
Yes.
talk about the meatball, is that people just go a little overboard and they want that?
It's trimming
shaping
these
it?
into these perfectly round green shapes instead of them looking like a natural shrub. They just look like chess pieces, for like a chess set or something like
Cicely
that.
likes that.
I like
look.
the
Well, some people
meatball.
like them very, very nice and neat, and that's great. My wife likes it that way too, but it's like I want to have it a little more natural.
Okay, so you just go in there and just
and
kind
cut
of.
in and take the
Now, when you
pieces off.
prune, is there a certain way to hold the shears?
Well, you
the
just-
not this way, I'm guessing.
Well, you just don't cut your fingers, and things like that. But basically, you're just wanting to cut down to where there's another little bud or another little branch. It's kind of hard to show you on this plant.
Okay, but that's important.
That is important.
Now, we've talked about pruning shrubs. What about trees?
A lot for perennials. This is the time of the year to clean a lot of those up. But a lot of people will go in right now and cut these grasses completely back, and you can go in and cut them back like this, just all the way back to
Oh.
the.
So you just go right in.
You just cut right down and leave about 2 or 3 inches. But one of the nice things about grasses is to leave these plumes through the wintertime because the birds will feed on those and it gives you a little bit of interest. But again, people that want a really nice, neat landscape are in the process of cutting those completely back so they don't have stuff blowing through their yard.
Sure.
More natural approach would be to leave them alone.
But-
It's personal preference.
2 inches.
All
We
the
wanna
way back
keep
to
that.
about 2 to
Alright.
3 inches. And then on pruning trees, this
Okay.
is the
Let's work on
really
that.
great time for pruning trees. You can do this at any time of the year, but right now you can really see the structure of your tree.
Yes.
So one of the first things you look for are dead or broken branches or crossing branches. You don't want branches like this that are crossing and rubbing
Why is that?
because they're going to create a place for insects and diseases to go in
Okay.
because it's rubbing. So you would go in and those would be the first ones that you would prune back to a main stem.
Okay.
And basically these can be composted or used for decorations again.
Sure.
We're doing a lot of using a lot of twigs and things in Christmas decorations right now.
Which we want to reuse what we're doing and not
That's
just
exactly right.
throw it away. So, Richard, a lot of stuff you're talking about, you know, we always think about our lawns and how it's pretty and the aesthetics of it all. You want these plants to stay healthy.
We absolutely do. Because at our nursery and a lot of other nurseries and garden centers, we are guaranteeing the plants that we put out. So we want our clients and our customers to be successful.
Right.
So we want to help you first pick a plant that will grow in the spot that you have and will do the things that you want them to do. So like on a plant like this is a year-round evergreen.
Sure.
So this is going to look good 365 days of the year.
Well,
so you want to be successful with those
absolutely,
things.
and keep everything healthy and happy. We
Exactly.
appreciate it. If people want your help, can they? Where should they go?
Probably the best way would be to go to our website, which is springhousegardens.com, and you could give us a call or shoot us an email.
There's all your information.
Yeah, and we're here. We're working year round, but our garden shop, our hours are we're closing down here soon.
All right. Well, we
Yep.
appreciate you, Richard.
you,
Thank you
Richard.
for being here. Thanks for
My
showing all
pleasure.
this. Come